another sunset. I figured I'd do a different little view this time. This one's at the big statue with the sun. It should have the sunset behind it. Should get some interesting colors behind it, so it should be pretty neat. So that's what we're gonna do today. This is Bay Park, Sarasota. Bayfront Park, sorry. Sorry. Alright. So, tomorrow's job canceled, which really stinks, because that was my food money to last me till the weekend, so it's going to be an interesting time till Saturday. I'm not going to have any food at all. But figure it out. I always do. It's just, but I get it. I mean, you know, she has the customer has some things they've got to do, so you know, it's not on them. It's just stinks a little bit, you know. But it is what it is, I guess. But we'll make it through this. Still got work on Saturday, and they're still going to use me. They just, like I said, they have to reschedule something because they're trying to get stuff done before they go on a little trip or whatever. But it's a little stressful because I don't have anything else lined up for tomorrow, and that was my freaking food money. So I'm a little bit stressed out of how I'm going to eat tomorrow and tonight, and because now I have to put the last money I have in fuel for fuel to make me last, because tomorrow was gonna last me basically to get enough fuel and buy a couple meals till Saturday. But now I have to put the last money I have, the $10 that I have left, and fuel just so I can make it to work on Saturday, and figure out food for tonight now and the next couple of days. So, but I'll get there, and just a little stressed out, I guess. It's just been a hot day. It's been so miserable today, you know. It's hard to always be in a good mood when you're just, tired of being homeless. I don't want to be freaking homeless anymore, you know. Last thing I want to do is be in this van every day, sweating and just feeling awful. But I have no choice in life, so, I gotta do what I've gotta do. But sunset's going to be in roughly, 45 minutes. So, we'll watch the sunset and chat. If you guys want us to talk about anything, by all means, go ahead. Chat's free for everybody. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe if you possibly can. It's just going to be a long few days. But I'll get through there. I just need Saturday to get here so I can have a full day's worth of work. It's so freaking expensive. It's so hard just to eat every day and try to stay healthy and try to stay, feeling okay. My sugar is either really high or really low or just inconsistent, mostly high. I usually only go low if I'm working. But it's another beautiful day in Sarasota. I know we are technically by the water, but I thought the statue was kind of neat, so I figured we'd watch the sunset by it. Parked in a good spot for it. And like I said, I've been sweating all day, so walking around is just not something I want to do right now. I feel awful from just dehydration and whatnot, from being, in the van all day. It's like an oven in the van, and I have 1.5 windows that go down, so I don't get much airflow through here. So it makes it quite nasty in here all day. Gets me a little grumpy, I guess, just being sweaty and nasty all the time. But I'm trying to stay positive. Like I said, tomorrow's job canceled, so there goes food for tomorrow and Saturday. Tomorrow and Friday. I got a bigger job on Saturday. I'll catch back up, but now it's like I got insurance I got to pay out of that too. So now I've got to every little penny that I lose, every day that I lose, is just a step backward. And it's so stressful because every time things are going good, something goes back. And it's not like it's the customer's fault. They're leaving out of town, and they're still going to have you back. It's just they get a little busy and have some things to do. But it just sucks because now that means I don't eat tonight, I don't eat tomorrow, I don't eat Friday. I still put some more posts out there. I could, who knows? Maybe I'll pick up something tomorrow. I don't know, but it's just so stressful. I hate living day to day, not knowing if I'm going to eat or if I'm going to make it or if I'm going to have fuel or if I'm going to be able to make it to the next job or if my insulin's not going to. I think it's already spoiled, honestly, because I think that's why my sugars are high all the time because I'm just not getting. I think my sugars, my pens have expired because they're not supposed to be above 75 degrees, and it gets well over 95 in this van during the day. I'm literally dripping sweat throughout most of the day. So I mean, if I'm that bad, it's got to be pretty hot in here, and I think it's making my insulin not work properly because my sugar has been running 300 to 400 every day, which is literally destroying my body, and it's making it almost impossible to do anything. But I just feel awful every day. I hate that feeling. I want to be able to, get enough work to where I can just get on a boat and live on it and cook and clean and do all these things that a normal person does and just not have to stress about this every day because it's just very overwhelming some days. And today is just that, an overwhelming day. But we've still got a beautiful view, and I'm not freezing cold. So, I mean, I do have things to be thankful for, but sometimes it's very stressful, to live this life every day. For a long time now, I've been, like I said, I lost my company a year and a half ago when I got sick with type 1 diabetes. And it's been a year and a half of every day doing this, and it's like sometimes it's like serious, like I'm a grown ass man, but sometimes I want to break down and just cry because it's just painful to be in here every day. The way people look at you, the way people treat you, the way, and there are good people, and I've met them recently with, using the Nextdoor app and people allowing me to do this. But every day, the looks you get and the feeling you get and just being gross all the time and being hungry all the time sucks. Like, I'm lucky, to eat every day. And now I don't know how I'm going to do that for a few days. And Saturday I'll figure, I'll be back up again, but then I'm going to have to put off my insurance even longer because of this. So it's just, I need like a solid week of work. If I can have a solid week of work, pay everything off, get everything done, I'd be good. But this, couple hours here, couple hours there, I'm grateful for it and I appreciate it and it means a lot to me. But it's at the same time, it's like I can't get anywhere. I'm just sitting. It's enough to get me by. And I can't go out and get a regular job, like I said, because I don't have a birth certificate. I don't have a social security card. I have my license, and with me being sick and me not being able to shower and do all these things, it's hard to want to go get a regular job and be gross and nasty. Like, I don't smell good, it is what it is, I'm freaking homeless. And it's got me so frustrated today, I guess. I try to keep a calm and level head every day, and I for the most part do well, but some days are just worse than others overwhelming wise, and it's just one of those days, I guess. And, everybody has their good days and their bad days, but I'm still grateful for everything I do have. It's just, good gosh, can I get a break, can I live like a normal life? That would be amazing, I don't know. I don't want to feel sick anymore. I don't want to feel this pain right now of being homeless, of sweating every day, of not eating, of all these things I'm going through. And I need to catch a real break where I can just not have to worry for a whole week, where nothing goes wrong. And every time one thing goes good, something else goes bad. Like the phone, that was $100 that I wasn't expecting to have to pay. That would have been able to feed me throughout the whole week and pay my, that would have covered the gap of the insurance, filling, fuel and food. and I wouldn't have to spend everything on Saturday that I make just to be broke again and not know how I'm going to survive for another, It's just, it's really stressful. It's really, really stressful. I'm sorry for venting, but it's just, I don't know what to do sometimes, I don't know how to get up every day sometimes and, smile. I know everything's going to be okay, because I don't. From day to day, I don't know what's going to happen. From day to day, I don't know if I'm going to, if I'm going to go into, get so sick I go DKA, or if I have a seizure or something like that. Because a lot of bad things can happen when your sugars aren't taken care of like this. And then I have, on top of that, I've got to figure out every day how I'm going to eat. Most people, they go home from work and they have food in their fridge and they have stuff in their cabinets. And I don't have cabinets. I don't have extras. I don't have anything. I literally live day to day. And it's so overwhelming. Like, I pray every day just to something happens. Where I don't have a fallback. I keep having fallbacks, and that's what's so stressful. And it started with that stupid phone. After all I did to help that girl, and she wants to do that crap without even letting me know, so I could prepare for it. It's just, I don't know, so overwhelming. But it is what it is, I guess I just gotta keep moving forward and finding a way not to be stressed about it. And I'll get there. Somehow. But I'll figure it out. But it's not an easy task. Oh man. I'm just overwhelmed. Very, very overwhelmed today, I guess. I need a day where it's just nothing bad happens, nothing gets canceled, nothing gets, because like I said, I planned my whole week out with income. First comes the phone, and then comes, tomorrow's job, rescheduling. And it's fine. Like I said, it's not mad at the person or nothing like that. It's just that they have it, and it's absolutely perfectly normal, but it's just, I'm not in a spot to where things can change, and yeah, the job tomorrow postponed, and that was my food money for to last me till Saturday. Because with buying that phone, it took up a lot of my resources, and I still had to get fuel in here and do all this other stuff. So, just a little overwhelmed today because they postponed, and it's nothing bad on them or with the job. It's just they're going out of town and they have a few things they have to do. Or they're rescheduled. They're great, amazing people. It's just when you're in this situation, you live very scheduled, and everything was scheduled out perfect to where I know I could eat every day. And now I'm kind of freaking out a little bit because I've got this gap. I did put out more posts and all that, and next week's looking busier, but it's just, like I said, I need Saturday just to get here. And now that without that job, it's going to take away money that I'm going to have to use from Saturday's money for fuel and for insurance, so it's not going to leave me with food money after Saturday's job. And it's just going to be this big, I don't know. I mean, it'll leave me some, but it's just puts me behind. And it's just stressful. I wish, I didn't have any setbacks. Like that, it started with the phone. The phone really messed me up. And then going on forward with this. And like I said, I'll find things, and it'll be okay. It's just, I wish I didn't have to stress about this every day. I wonder, because, I don't have a backup plan right now. I don't have backup money. So if something goes wrong, that's my food source for the day, or for 2 days now. So trying to figure that out is going to be interesting. But like I said, it's just, and just overall being homeless is just overwhelming, and it's been a long journey, and I know I'm getting there, and it's just, I wish I wouldn't have setbacks. I wish things stayed the way and planned and scheduled. And I know that's not life, and it's, that's everybody's life. People have things that happen, and it's nobody's fault. It's just, when you're already in the situation that you're in, and then things go, you know, like I don't have a backup pantry of food or something like that. So, you know, it's just a little overwhelming. But I thought this statue was really cool, so I want to share this with you guys today. This is at Bayfront Park in Sarasota. It's a really pretty view, so I figured we'd watch the sunset like right here. This is on the other side of that water, but I just thought this was kind of neat. So I'm curious how it would turn out with the sunset behind it. So once the colors and all that, because it's got them clouds in the skies where I think it might look really pretty, but we'll find out. There's a community food bank. There is one here, but I haven't been to it yet. I've got to call them tomorrow and figure it out. I haven't needed it yet, and a lot of the things they give you are, I mean, I've needed it, but a lot of the things they give you aren't things that I can store. Like, you have to cook them. They're going to give you pastas, rice, you know, sweets and breads. As what most food banks do, or refrigerated items, like, you know, stuff like that. It's not really stuff that you can use in a van. And even like, you know, like, I mean, some of the breads I could, but a lot of the stuff they give you is very, you know, because food banks use a lot of carbs, basically. And I've got to stop eating as many carbs because my sugar's been 400 to 500, or 300 to 500, really, the last couple of weeks, because, you know, I don't know why, they're just horrible. So a lot of the things, last time I went to the food bank, I did go to, well, 90% of the stuff that I could get, I couldn't use. I either had to cook it, or it's like canned vegetables and stuff like that, and you know, those aren't, you know, I need proteins and things like that to keep going. And I can't cook anything, so I can't use the food. They'll give you bolognas and, like, you know, like frozen meats and stuff like that, and they'll literally go bad in a day. And I can't afford to buy ice every day. I'm just not at that spot yet. But I just got to figure, I just need Saturday to get here. That job's a decent sized job. Like I said, it'd be like 150, almost 200 bucks, depending on how many hours it is. 25 bucks an hour. If it's 8 hours, it would be what's that, 160. So, no, I'm sorry, that's 200. That's 25, yeah. So if I can work 8 hours on Saturday, which I'm praying I can, that'll get me back on, you know, with the insurance and stuff like that, and I'll be able to not fill up the gas tank, because, you know, fuel's expensive nowadays, but I'll be able to get enough fuel to last me till, you know, the next job's next week. So it's just, I don't know, it's I wish it was normal and I could just eat anything I wanted without it affecting me, but everything's been affecting me so bad lately. My sugar's just out of control. But I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna figure it out. I just gotta breathe for a minute and figure it out, you know. That's all I can do. So I will make it work. And I know I have, like, a lot of good things too, so it's not all bad things, you know. And things have been picking up. It's just, like I said, when something changes, it does throw me off hugely. So, and it just happened. So it's, and I totally get it. Like I said, the lady's amazing. It's just threw me off at my financials a little bit, and I will get back to where I've got to be, you know. And for right now, I'm just going to stay positive as best as I possibly can. Another big issue today is it was so hot in this van today. Like I said, I got 1.5 windows that go down, and the rest of this van is metal. So it's literally like a toaster oven in here. And I've just been miserable all day. It's been very, and it's uncomfortable, you know. And I'm still blessed for it. I'm still amazed and happy to have everything I have and a place to sleep that's out of the elements, but you can get a little grumpy, I guess, or a little depressed or whatever, just feeling, you know, just like yuck all day, and I stink, and I need a shower, and I just can't wait to be normal again, you know. All I want is a normal life. I want to wake up, I want to have a cup of coffee on my boat, I want to go to work, I want to come home and enjoy the sunset, and spend it with good people, and, you know, have a good meal. I want to be able to cook, I want to be able to take a shower at night. I just want what normal people have. And it's sometimes really hard watching all these people. Like, I sit around, I don't do much during the day besides look for work. It wasn't, I mean, it was 80 in the 80s here, but it's not the temperature outside. It's the van that gets super hot. And unless you're in the shade or something like that, then you know, it's more just the temperature inside the van. It was only in the 80s today, but it was, like I said, it just gets so hot in here. I need to start getting out of the van more, honestly, but I've just been so, I don't know, I guess depressed lately, that I haven't really done a whole lot with that. Besides work, I go to work every time there's a call for work. I've gone, and I just put some more ads up today. But it's just, you feel gross. Like I smell bad. I don't like going out in public. I don't like the way people look at me. I feel, you know, and a lot of that's probably, you know, I'm overlooking things or just feeling bad about myself, I guess, and I've got to get over that self-pity. But it's just a horrible feeling when you're just gross, you know. Nobody likes to go out in public when they haven't showered for days and days and days, or, you know, doesn't have clean clothes, and it's just, you know. So I sit in the van because I'm nervous of, you know, I don't like the way people think about me, you know, and so I sit here, and it's hotter, but it is what it is. But, you know, I'm definitely happy for some things, you know, like I'm grateful for this channel. I've been getting so many new subscribers, so thank you first of all, everybody. This isn't always sappy bullcrap, I swear. Just having a bad day, I guess. And I'm thankful for next door, for the opportunities the community has been giving me for work. And it's going to pick up to where I'll be busy every day eventually. I just got to get that name out there, and I'm doing a great job, and I don't want to give that up. And, you know, I'm grateful to have a van. I'm not sleeping on a sidewalk, or, you know, outside somewhere under a bridge. You know, I am blessed for many, many things. And I do have to remember that, but it's at the same time, you know, just sometimes you just have a bad day. You know, it's very lonely, it's very depressing, it's very, you know, especially when things don't go right. When things are going right, I'm best mood ever, because, you know, I could see things. But then when things start to fall apart, I'm scared because I've lost everything already. So the fear of losing it all again, or not knowing if I'm going to eat, or not knowing if I'm going to do this or that, it's very scary, because I've been there. I've done that so many times right now, because things keep going wrong. Now, I wouldn't say this, you know, today's event was something going wrong. It's just life happens, and that's perfectly fine. But it's just, like I said, when things, I probably overreact a little bit on it because of the fear. You know, I might find something tomorrow, and everything's perfectly fine. I might be worrying over nothing. I might not be. I might not be able to eat tomorrow. I don't know. But I at least know that I have a goal right now, and that's Saturday. I need to make it this Saturday, and once Saturday gets here, then I'll have a full day's worth of work, or at least close to it. I don't know how long they're going to work me. They just said they had some drywall stuff and some painting to do, so I'm going to go there, and I'm going to work my butt off on Saturday. I'm going to make a good impression, and that might lead to more work. So all I can do is stay focused, stay you know, positive as possible. Just sometimes it's not that easy. If you guys are just tuning in, please do me a favor too. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps our channel get out there a little better. Like I said, we're up to 1,082 subscribers, so that makes it almost 20 subscribers in just the last 3 or 4 days. We've been kicking butt on that, and I really, really, really appreciate all of our new subscribers. I appreciate you guys all coming back every night that have been here anyways too, of course. I really like that statue. I just think it reminds me of an old movie, you know. But I just thought it was cool, and it was, you know, something different to see while we watch the sunset. Like, it's not over the water today. I mean, the water's literally on the other side. I'm not sure if you can see the details, but in the background you might see a few boats. That's right. This is Marina Jack's marina, and it's a really nice spot. We actually did it. This is when I did a tour around here when we first got here, about so all the big yachts here and stuff like that. It's really pretty. But, you know, I'm gonna keep pushing, wake up tomorrow, and hopefully maybe there'll be some work on Friday or something. I don't know. Who knows? Or maybe even somebody needs help tomorrow, and everything will work out perfectly fine. And if not, I'll figure it out, and, you know, it's not like I haven't not figured it out and made it through. But we got a beautiful view, and even though the details in this camera still bug me, just because we had such a clear image before, but it's still a pretty view. It's very relaxing. And tomorrow I'll get up and I'll try to find some more work and just keep going through every day to day thing. But anybody got any cool plans this weekend or doing anything fun? I cannot wait till Saturday though. That'll put me in a good mood. That's a good day. So that's what I need. It's full days of work to get out of this little hump I'm in. But oh man, it's starting to cool down. It feels so nice right now. I love the sunset, not just because the sunset's pretty, but you know, when the sun's setting, you get that cool breeze, and it's what I look forward to all day, honestly. One of my customers gave me this little thing you put on your neck. It's like this little neck fan, and I used that today, and that did help out quite a bit, so that was pretty nice, but it was still hot. But it just helped my face from sweating as much, which was very, very nice. I took a little nap with it on, and usually can't sleep in this fan when it's during the day because it gets too hot in here. But I mean, I was sweating still, but I was just my body, not my face, and that I was able to take a little nap. So yeah, fun is too expensive right now. I agree. Well, there you go. Change of scenery is always good witness. I'm hoping on Sunday, if I'm not doing anything, that we can do a beach sunset. I'd really like to make it down to the beach. I haven't been down to Siesta Key in so long. You guys will love it out there. It's so beautiful. It's one of the nicest beaches in Florida, if not the nicest. The water's crystal clear, and just a nice time. Well, at least it's not too far. And like you said, that change of scenery is sometimes just something nice to have, you know. That's why I like this park in different spots too, just because, you know, you're not seeing the same thing every day, and that really helps your mind a little bit, you know. It looked like it was going to storm earlier, and now that's starting to get dark in the background. I want to check on my weather app on here real fast and see if we're supposed to get any rain, because it's starting to look towards the back of me. It's starting to look a little bit dark. So I'm going to check the weather real fast, if it allows me to. But you can start to see some of the dark clouds rolling in. Oh yeah, we got rain coming. It's only a 20% chance of thunderstorms, but it is a chance. Where'd it go? Alright, let me get back to that. I really don't like this tablet sometimes. Alright, so where do we have... know, it's going to make me go to this website, that's why. Alright, when are the storms going to come in? I don't know how to use it. Where's the radar? There we go. Why does everything have ads nowadays? I think, you know, we don't need ads all the time. Like every little step of the way is just ads and ads and ads. I just want to get to the radar. Sarasota weather radar. Now it's loading, so it's going to take forever. After all that. Alright, let's see. If I can zoom in a little bit over here. We're right there. Which way is that? That storm is going to be big if it's coming this way. Alright. Well, no, it looks like it's going to be a little off. It's not coastal, so I think I should be alright. Yeah, I don't think it's going to hit us. I think it might skirt us a little bit. Might get a little rain shower, but it's a lot of red. But that looks a little bit more inland than we're at, so I think we should be okay on that. Yeah, it's a very sticky situation. It's gonna be, you know, we have a reason, and I get why we're there and all that, but it just sucks for people here because, you know, when you know, if one, our troops, two, you know, everything goes up when you're in a war, and hopefully it doesn't lead to other bad things happening. But if you do nothing, then what happens then? You know, so it's kind of one of those you're damned if you do, damned if you don't type of things, and it's not a situation anybody really wants, but it's a situation, you know, that is just what it is. He extended the deadline. How long did he extend it for? I know it was due like yesterday or last night or something like that, to 48 hours. Or was it the day before that? I don't remember. Days kind of twist into each other. But yeah, it is a sticky situation. Well, with the right clouds now, I think it should be a really pretty sunset. As long as they don't get too thick over here, we should actually get some nice colors today. I wonder if I can push this way just a hair. There we go. A 5-day extension. Well, I mean, gas prices did go down 10 cents recently, so hopefully that they'll continue to, you know, dwindle down a little bit. And I know it's not just about gas. There's all kinds of other things we have to worry about when it comes to these situations. But yeah. I'm drinking these little seltzer water things. I didn't think I'd like them, but they're called... Oh man, I do love the view out here though. I love the view. This is a very, very touristy area though, because they have a lot of, like, you know, like the pontoon boats that go out with party boats or whatever, and they do sunset cruises and stuff like that. So surprisingly not as busy today, but I think it's because the possibility of a storm. Definitely really dark getting dark behind me, but hopefully it stays away. Those clouds are gonna ruin the sunset view, I think, though, because they're starting to come in over here too, towards the front. It looks like we're gonna miss most of it though. It's about 15 miles inland to the edge of the storm. Now that's what the radar is picking up, so it doesn't mean we won't get no rain or anything, but I'm sure the heck hoping not. Oh boy. $87 degrees, not bad at all. Like, I love the heat. I just don't like the heat in the van. Like, I could deal with the 80s every day here if I'm outside doing stuff, you know? But in the van, it's a little harder. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very hot summer. A very, very hot summer. We're getting warm quick, which I think is going to also make it a very interesting hurricane season over here. Like I said, we will cover every hurricane that hits Florida, no matter the location. I will go there, and we're going to cover it, as long as, you know, I have the money to do so. But by the time hurricane season here, I should be doing much, much, much better. We still got a few months for that, so we'll be doing a little bit of storm chasing this summer. Just some of the regular storms that come through here too. Sometimes you'll get some pretty cool views because you get a lot of water spouts and stuff around here, and those are always pretty neat to watch. I had one when I was living on my boat. I had one go right next to my boat. It was about, I don't know, a football field away, too close for comfort. But they're really thin here and smaller, so it's not like the massive, you know, like mile-wide tornadoes or whatever. Water spouts are very thin, but they're wrapped in water, so they're pretty strong. I'm really hoping these clouds hold off just a little longer, so it doesn't ruin the sunset. But I think it might. They're coming in pretty quick. Well, that's see, and that's where everybody gets sick. Where you get that really hot and then cold, and really hot and cold. It's just, that's one thing I hated about up north. You'd have these sporadic warm days, which is just absolutely amazing, and then it's back to instantly cold, and then you just get sick, and that's just, it's so bad for your body. Like, at least, you know, Florida's pretty consistent. We did have a couple cold fronts, which made it a little bit colder or whatever, but they only last a few days, and then you're back to the warmth for the majority of the time, so it can be pretty difficult navigating, you know, those temperatures. I'm just glad not to be sleeping in those temperatures anymore. That was painful. I mean, this is uncomfortable. I'd rather deal with uncomfortable any day than painful. Oh boy. But hopefully I'll get some more traction on next door. And I'm so happy with that app though. I don't think it was with that app I'd have nearly, you know, the situation that I've had this week. So I've been able to eat, you know, multiple days and stuff like that, multiple meals, you know. I'm still only eating twice a week, well, twice a day, I mean, but well, not today, but, you know, normally. But just the fact, you know, it's been so much better than once today. It's hard to be hungry all the time. I've been really blessed with a good community around here. A very good community. I just gotta keep pushing a little bit longer. Ugh. I'll tell you what, I'm tired today. This heat and my diabetes is just making a bit of a struggle today. Well, thank you very much for their service, witness. You should be a proud man for that, you know. A very proud man. It's also a scary situation with everything always going on in the world, but it's something to be very proud of. I'm hoping my daughter reaches out eventually. Hey James, how you doing today? Hopefully you're having a good day. absolutely thank you for their service. We forget sometimes the men and women who serve our country well to give us the freedoms that we have. And even in my situation, you know, there's so many countries that would be so far worse off than, you know, to be in. So we're blessed to have the freedoms that we have and the rights that we have. And if it wasn't for them, it'd be, you know, it'd be a whole lot different. Definitely be a whole lot different. Where's that at? The Midway. Probably be a pretty cool. I'm sure it's claustrophobic. I mean, they don't make they don't make a whole lot of room for our service people when it comes to boats and stuff like that. But I don't think I've never got to tour a boat yet. That'd be kind of like a military boat. I think that'd be kind of cool. I seen the one in Pearl Harbor, but I didn't get to tour it when I used to live in Hawaii. But I was in San Diego. I've actually only been to San Diego once when I used to live in Hawaii. We flew out of San Diego, and me and the person I was with at the time. And, well, we flew out of North Carolina to San Diego, and San Diego to Hawaii. But that's literally the only time I've ever been into San Diego was at the airport. I got a beautiful airport there, though, I'll give you that. Only part of California I really ever visited was San Francisco. Oh, it sucked. Yeah, it's everything's very close quarters there. It's very, you know, it's not very roomy. I mean, they're massive ships, but they have so much cargo and so much other stuff that they need there. It'd be very hard living. I always wanted to buy a cruise ship one day, just like rent out rooms in the cruise ship, just anchor it out, and make like a little floating apartment complex. You need a massive amount of solar power to do that, though, because you couldn't afford to run those things all the time. But mathematically, it would be a great adventure. I'm not sure how much. I haven't looked at cruise ships though in a long time. I think they were like, last time I looked, you could get a used one for like 1.2 million or something like that, which is a lot of money. But the amount of rooms they have and the amount you could charge was always interesting to me. Yes, thank you for your service, James, very, very much. Witness comes from a big old family of service people. We appreciate that too. It's great, you know. Like I said, our freedoms would not be what they are if it wasn't for the wonderful men and gentlemen, men and ladies that protect our country. Oh, that breeze is just feeling super, super good right now. Yeah, absolutely. That's a lot. I mean, you're almost everybody in your family. That's a tremendous thing. And it is getting dark back there. I think we might actually get hit by the storm, but might feel good though. But then it usually gets really muggy after. I'm gonna recheck the radar again just to see what they're saying, because it's definitely moving in closer this way. I feel like it. And you feel that, you know, right before the storm, you get that cool breeze, and it just came through like really cool. That's where you usually have the worst of the storms, when the cold hits the heat. Well, let's see. Where did I see the radar again? I gotta get a better app for. I hate this AccuWeather app. That came on my tablet. It is so slow. Alright, let's see. Radar loading. Oh, that's so close to us, and it's like that purpley red pink storm. So like if it did, like right now it's still going over Bradenton, which is still a little bit away, but yeah, they're saying now it's showing we might get a tiny bit, but not very much. Well, they tell later on tonight, and that's going to get pretty close to us too. If that gets closer, then that'll be a pretty bad storm later on tonight. But who knows? I love the storms. Might even, if it gets bad, I might even go live again later on just to cover the storm. It's always pretty watching the lightning. It absolutely is the most boringest thing I've ever. Just not like, the only excitement I do is work and then this. Besides that, I sit here by myself and contemplate of what I'm going to do next or how I'm going to make it work. It's not the funnest day, but you know, if I gotta struggle for another 4 or 5 months to get out of the situation and then actually enjoy life, this is what I gotta do, and that's what I will do. But I don't know. Yeah, regardless of, you know, one situation, it's not like it's cheap to go out and do things anymore. So, but I would give to be able to, you know, just, you know, sitting in my living room and I'd be able to walk around if I wanted to, or stretch, or go take a shower. That's all I want in life right now. The small things in life. I don't need to go out and, you know, do things, and I just want to be able to be home. I want to have a home. I think everybody deserves a home. It's interesting to see how many people actually think. Today is a very quiet day here, because like I said, the car is very loud. It's definitely changed since COVID. Things are not the same, and they may never be. I mean, like we don't have 24-hour Walmarts anymore. We don't have a lot of things we had. Everything went super expensive and then never went back down. And that's what they do, is they use that for, I mean, unfortunately they use, you know, the pandemic for greed. They raised all the prices saying, oh, well, this is what we have to do because of this and this and this, and then they just never go back down. I mean, like, things pre-COVID were way cheaper. You could go out and afford to do things, and now, unless you're, you know, you have a very, very solid job, which pays a lot, then you're kind of out of luck. Why so many more people have become homeless since COVID. Our homeless population went through the roof since COVID. Absolutely through the roof. But it is what it is, I guess, you know. Oh, that breeze is just absolutely phenomenal, though. Well, the clouds pretty much covered up most of the sunset. It's supposed to be a pretty nice week all week, the rest of the week. I think today's the only day we're supposed to get a chance of rain, which we really need the rain. We're so far below in the rain here. We're like desperately in need of a lot of rain. Oh, absolutely. When it's probably doubled since COVID, honestly, and it's mainly because rent went through the roof after COVID because people were staying and not paying rent, so landlords jacked up the prices to make back their money, and they just never let them back down. Everything went through the roof, rent and food and all this other stuff, and it should have went back down. But when things go up, they typically don't go back down, unless it's gas. Gas is the only thing that usually fluctuates. But you get a markup. Well, eggs went down. They're not like $10 a dozen anymore, but you go to spend $100 on food, you're not going to get a whole lot anymore, though. It's just, it is what it is. It's today's age. And they keep raising minimum wage, but they don't understand when they raise minimum wage, the companies will get the same amount of money they get before, so they're going to have to up their prices. So all it's going to do is literally take all that money you're supposedly making extra and make you pay more for the things you already need. Instead of like McDonald's, it has almost $18 an hour, pay right now, or some places are even up to 20, and that's why you're paying $13 for a value meal instead of $7 like you used to, and the price will go up more than what the pay will go up. So you're literally never making any room with these pay increases, and people don't understand that. They keep saying we want higher wages, we want higher wages. We don't need higher wages. We need people to stop with these price whatever hikes they're doing, and landlords to stop charging an arm and a leg for all these things, and that's what we need, and we have to figure that out before anything's gonna get fixed. Yeah, and I hope we don't go into one, Hopefully we don't go into a recession. We can't, that puts work for so many people out. Luckily, I live in a very wealthy area, so even during a recession, I'm sure I'd find work. But it hurts a lot of people, It's a scary time we're in right now because there's so much uncertainty, and uncertainty to the markets are so bad. That's why you have these prices that are all over the place, and uncertainty just kills the market. Absolutely. And it's, America's built on the wealth. And the wealth is always going to be there. And you can say tax the rich, you can do whatever, but like I said, you do all these things, and these companies, regardless of what, they're just going to, it only hurts, when you tax the rich, it hurts the poor. Like, as we noticed when Trump's first term, when he lowered all these taxes, companies were able to save all this money, this pre-COVID, and hire a bunch more people. They even started adding more benefits because they were making more lucrative. They invested into their employees. But when you up their taxes, they have to pull back from the employees and invest back into their company to make their profit margins. So literally doing all these things that the left are trying to push towards is making it. That's why California, if you go to California, gas is $6 a gallon, $7 a gallon prior to this hike, because there's so much taxation and companies have to find a way to make up this money. And it's just going to, unfortunately, it's only going to get worse if we don't figure it out. And it is what it is. But, these people who are wanting higher wages and doing all this stuff, they're just going to destroy us even more. It's not about, if you look back, 2019, if you were making $20 an hour, you're doing good in life. You were able to afford things. You could afford a rent. You could afford food. You could do all these things. 4 years later, 5 years later, now you have to make, $25 an hour. You're struggling. If I were to rent a place, this is the reason why I'm not going to, but if I were to rent a place around here, you're looking at about $1,500 for a one bedroom, and then you have on top of that food, electricity, all this other stuff. So you need to make about, before, like car insurance, phones, all this other stuff. So you need to make about $3,000 a month prior to food and all this other stuff. And that means you need to you really need to make about, you know, $25 an hour just to make ends meet, and barely make it. That's to live paycheck to paycheck. When before you could do that on 20 and still have a little extra money. We're also just scraping by, and you know, and that's what makes it even harder in situations like when you get homeless, is you need, you know, like just to move into a place, you're looking at, you know, like I said, $1,500 times 3. That's 15? That's 4,500 plus. You're looking at hooking up electricity, doing that. You got to buy all your new food, all your furniture. Like going from all that to that, you're looking at, you know, $6,000-7,000 to comfortably move into a place, have it that, and then you're still stuck on everything else. Trying to save up $7,000 when you're, you know, I mean, you can do it because that's what I'm going to have to save up for my boat, but then I have no more bills after that. I don't have to worry about the furniture. The boats come furnished. You know, they have built-in sofas and everything, beds and whatnot. You know, it's pretty ready to go. And then you just don't. And then I anchor out, and I don't have to worry about that crap no more. It's the only way I'm going to make it in this society is doing something like that. You know, and there's enough work around here where I could stay busy enough, but you know, worrying about, you know, day-to-day expenses, that'll be one less thing I'll have to worry about, and I'll be pretty excited about that. And the clouds completely covered everything, but I don't know, I'm going to show you over here. It looks like it's going to definitely storm. Let me bring this over here. Oh crap, there we go. I don't know, I'm going to show you over here. It's getting pretty dark over there. That's where the storm's coming through. But we will see. I like that condo's in there. Imagine living in there. I bet you the view from the top floor is just absolutely beautiful. But unfortunately, we got clouded out tonight. Alright, let's see. Oh, let's go this way. And there we go. Oh, I know. My little freaking gimbal thing gets so mad at me sometimes. If it's just not perfectly level. Because it was hitting the window, I think. Yeah, it's just sad. And the thing is, they keep proposing all these new things that are going to make it even worse, you know? Like, they make it almost impossible to have that American dream. The thought of land ownership is so far out of reach now. It's just sad, you know? Alright guys, well I think I'm going to call it a show. We got our hour in, lost the sunset, and I might pop back in if it starts storming really bad. We'll see how it goes and all that, but hopefully I can pick up some more work. I'll let you guys know what happens with that and all that. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Anybody who wishes to support the channel, my links are scrolling below in the description, and also you have the QR code for PayPal to the left. It's not expected, but it is appreciated. It helps us survive and grow as a channel. And hopefully everybody has a good night, and hopefully tomorrow's a better day for me, and I appreciate everybody tuning in and spending the hour with me, and it really means a lot. So everybody have a good night. I am going to call it, and like I said, it looks like it might rain, so if it gets pretty bad, I might come back and just do I'll record it and upload it or something. But anyways, have a good night everybody. See you guys tomorrow.